Music is to the soul what words are to the mind. Bawihtlung, also known as LB King, is a 24-year-old musician who has been playing music since he was 10 years old. Welcome back to another episode of the Youth Program. I'm Naisha, and today we have with us a young, talented blues musician, Bawihtlung, also known as LB King, at Markbag Studio. Hi Lal.
Hey.
How are you? Welcome to the Youth Program.
Thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
So Lal, you've been performing since you were a really young boy. I've watched you perform in your school concerts. You've always brought a lot of life and energy on stage. How old were you when you started?
I picked up the guitar when I was in class 5, so I think maybe around 10 years old. But then the love for music has always been there, since I was a kid.
So are you the only musician in your family?
Immediate family, yes. But then when it comes to professionally playing, I'm the only one right now, currently.
So you play the blues.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about blues music?
Yeah, sure. Blues originated as folk music down in the Mississippi Delta. So basically it was the black cotton pickers who would, sing the blues, and, basically it was them singing their worries away. It's like an outlet. That's one thing that I really love about the blues, It's a feeling. Like when you're sad or you're feeling, in love or anything, it's all those feelings combined. But when it first started, it was mostly about feeling sad about your condition, So yeah, that's one thing about the blues that I really enjoy. It's melancholic nature.
Is that what inspired you to play blues music? Or do you have a particular artist that inspired you?
Well, my introduction to the blues came from a very unlikely, musician, John Mayer. People don't really know him as a blues artist because he's not really a blues artist per se. He's a blues-based artist. People just know him for his songs Your Body is a Wonderland, all those bubblegum pop stuff. But then my introduction to blues came from him through his songs Gravity, that had a very strong connection to the blues. And, it went down to his album with the trio, Try. It had a lot of blues, standards by the blues greats, which he made into his own rendition, and I think that just started me on a downward spiral towards the blues.
So is that what inspired you? Do you have a particular artist that inspired you?
Yeah. Ever since, as long as I can remember, it's always been I wanted to, grow up and be on stage and play music. I didn't know what genre I wanted to play or anything, but I knew for a fact that I wanted to play music for the rest of my life. So, yeah, you could say that.
He began playing music professionally in 2015 while also trying to become a scholar. In 2019, he completed his diploma course in music from the Center of Excellence in Mumbai. Lalchand found the blues through John Mayer, most notoriously known for his bubblegum hit, Your Body is a Wonderland. So what does your family have to say about it? Are they supportive? Are they into minds about?
Yeah, you could say that. You can't really, being the oldest son, it's a little difficult for them to accept the fact that, okay, he's a musician and he plans to do this professionally. But once you're really into something and you're giving it your heart and soul, I think it's difficult for parents to also say no. So yeah, you could say they're supportive, but they have their doubts. But it's always like that with parents.
So who taught you how to play the guitar?
Funny question. It's actually my dad. So when we were younger, since my dad is a sportsman and so is my brother, he'd always want me to go into sports, and I'd ask him, Dad, can I go for music lessons? He'd be like, no. And he'd always buy me football boots and the entire gear. It's ironic now that I look like a football. So the thing was, I asked him for lessons when I was, I think class 4, and then it went on for a whole year, and he couldn't say no anymore. So you don't need to take lessons. There's a guitar at home. Every household in Shillong has a guitar. So he took the guitar and he showed me 3 chords. I still remember it was a A. So these 3 chords, and then he was like, okay, you have these 3 chords, and then you play. And then I think he he expected me to like quit after like a week or two, but then it's been like around 14, 15 years later, and I'm still going strong. So it was my dad who taught me.
So is the guitar the only instrument you play?
Proficiently, yes, but I also play bass and a bit of mandolin and ukulele, and I try to play the duitara.
Okay. What about school? Did you study music?
Like most of my basic knowledge on music was like self-taught, like from listening to records and everything. But I think it was in 2015 or 16 I joined an institution called the Center of Excellence in Indian Western Music, and I got my diploma in Western guitar from there.
Can you play something for us?
Oh, sure. You know what? Let's go to the main studio. I think it'll be better there.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just tweak this a bit. Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'd have all you pretty mamas fishing after me, fishing after me, fishing after me. Well, I'm tired and I'm hungry too. If I clean up now, little mama, can I come home with you? Can I come home with you? Can I come home with you? When my train pulls in and I come walking out, I come walking out, I come walking. Thank you. Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'd have all you pretty mamas fishing after me, fishing after me, fishing after me.
Lalchand began teaching at the Center of Excellence in Indian and Western Music in Shillong under the Arts and Culture Department from 2016 to 2019. In 2017, he performed at the Zero Festival with the Center of Excellence. In 2018, he toured Bhutan and Dimapur with Puma Trio, where they headlined at Rocklaw. He also co-headlined the Destination Northeast Festival with Sound from the Hills in 2019. He played at the Orange Festival, Dambuk with Tariq. He was the finalist at the Mahindra Blues Big Band Hunt. He performed at Pune High Spirits with Sky Level and at the Goodstock Festival with Lou Majau. In 2020, he headlined at Chapcharkut. Alright, so let's talk about music as a profession. I mean, it couldn't have been easy. Could you tell us what you had to go through to get to where you are today?
Oh yeah, the struggle, the grind is real. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but like where I am musically, I couldn't be where I am today and do what I do today if it wasn't for like the constant love and support from everybody. So, I mean, the hard work is there, like all the practice, the jam sessions that you have to go to, all the studio sessions, and all those little things that make you a better musician and just makes you a better person also. So I mean, like at the end of the day, it's like the love and support and the perseverance, I feel.
You're also teaching music. Can you tell us more about it?
Oh yeah, it was in the year 2015 or 2016 where I joined this institution called the Center of Excellence in Indian Western Music. So it's an initiative taken by the Arts and Culture Department to boost up talent here in Meghalaya. And our head office was in Bombay, the Center of Creative Excellence. And so I basically joined there because one of my favorite guitar players, Booma, came down as a mentor, as an instructor. So I wanted to study under him, and I joined. And one thing led to the other, and then I joined this other program that they had, which was called the Student Mentor Initiative. So basically, it was like I was also a student being guided by Booma, but at the same time, I was also teaching other people. So it's basically like they take their more talented students and they give them a platform to like teach and also learn at the same time.
Would you say like touring is important for the profession? Like, would you like? You've traveled a lot to play. I mean, Can you tell us?
Well, I mean, there are some kind of musicians who are just really good at the studio, and others who are more proficient, performing live. So I believe I fall into like the latter category. I mean, I love the studio and everything, but then like I feel like I thrive on the stage. So I mean, like my first big festival that I performed at was Zero Festival of Music. I think it was in 2017. So I played with the Center of Excellence, and we had a show there. And I stayed back for the entire duration of the festival, and I ended up playing with a few more people. So they just call us to jam on stage, and then we'd go and jam. So and then I've played Dambuk, Orange Festival. Then we've played at so we headlined, co-headlined actually, this Destination Northeast Festival in Varanasi, and then I mean that too many to remember. So yeah, those are like some of the few that I fondly remember.
You were a finalist at the Mahindra Blues Big Band Hunt. I mean, how was the experience?
Oh yeah, I think it was in 2019, and my band was pretty young at the time. I think we only played together for like 3 months. So it's not gonna hurt. Let's just try. And then miraculously, they selected us as finalists. So there was another band from Shillong, Blue Temptation, that got selected. They ended up winning the entire thing. And I mean, it was just amazing for us because such a young band, just 3 months old, barely know each other, like when it comes to musicality, and we went to like that stage. So it was a really fun experience. We got to like play in front of a lot of musicians because we played at a true school of music, and our audience was basically all music students, and they were like actively learning music. So like being able to play in front of a crowd that's gonna judge you and scrutinize you no matter what. I mean, it was something else. But then at the end of the day, like the crowd really loved us, and I've made a lot of friends from there who like enjoyed our music, and they've been like so loving, and so they've helped us so much, and yeah, it was a fun experience.
So the LB King band, I mean, it's what, 2 years old now. How many members do you have in it?
So we originally started with four. I mean, we still have four members, but we had a change. That's Sunny on drums, Bami on keys, and originally we had Meonki playing bass with us, but then now a friend of ours, Pinsha, has taken over his place, and now it's like four of us.
So you're like only 24 years old, you've achieved quite a lot. I mean, what plans do you have for the future?
See, the thing is, I don't really look into the future too far ahead. You know, like, I mean, of course you're supposed to, but then it's more of like, you know, stay true to yourself, and like, as long as you're happy and you're not starving, I feel like, you know, if I can do this for the rest of my life, I'll be more than happy.
Do you see yourself pursuing music in Shillong or maybe move out?
I mean, it really depends on where, you know, life decides to take me. I mean, I could have plans, but then life could just say, nope, this is not for you. And just, you know, throw me in any other corner of the world. And, you know, I'm just willing to take that head on.
So, I mean, Shillong, obviously there are a lot of musicians. They're super talented. It's almost like a society, I guess. Would you say there's a lot of competition? Are they supportive of each other?
I mean, you know, there's always competition everywhere. It's a healthy competition. But then they've been really, really supportive. You know, guys like Lu Majao, he's been kind enough to like call me up to play with him. And, you know, Vibor. You know, there's so many people in Shillong, you know, Babari, then we have guys like Ryan who, you know, so many people who have been so supportive, at least to me, you know, calling me to play sessions with them and like, you know, just giving me the platform and the opportunity, and I will forever take it because I love what I'm doing, and it just makes me so happy, you know. So like, it doesn't matter what kind of band calls me, you know. I've played with the guys like Somersault, I've played with Sky Level, and like Tariq even. They're bands that play such contrasting music, but then, you know, I have fun because at the end of the day, it's like the music fraternity that's coming together, and we're sharing ideas and we're having fun, and that to me is like the most beautiful thing about the music scene in Shillong.
Growing up in a place like Shillong, music plays an important role in all our childhoods. In Lalchand's words, I quote, "We were raised by the gospel of the Beatles, singing the songs of Queen and rocking with the King Elvis Presley. Music is a family affair. It is only natural that one pledges a life of allegiance to rock music with so much influence, and the blues tells my story." So we're on the youth program. We have young viewers probably watching and getting inspired by this, and, you know, obviously have their own dreams and passions that they want to pursue.
Yeah.
Would you have some words of encouragement or message that you want to send out to them?
Okay, for all the kids watching, work hard and be humble. You know, leave your ego at the door. You can be the best player on earth, but if you have an ego and you're hard to work with, nobody's going to work with you. All right, stay humble and leave your ego at the door.
So on behalf of the Darshan, we'd like to thank you for sharing your story, and we wish you the best of luck. We'd also like to thank Ryan and Kelvin at Markback Studio. We've now come to the end of the program. Thank you for watching.